Welcome to Life in the Bricks podcast, where we talk to real people about programs that enhance our community so that we can build bigger and better portfolios while providing options for our residents to achieve self-sufficiency. I'm your host, Tony McGinnis, Executive Director, CEO with the Huntsville Housing Authority.
Welcome to another episode of Life in the Bricks podcast, where we talk to real people about real issues impacting our community. And today, I'm excited just to be here, to be totally honest. We don't have a guest today, but we have an opportunity to really just kind of highlight some of the things that have gone on with the Housing Authority throughout the summer. Some of the programs that we were able to implement, some of the things on the horizon. Just want to give everybody an update on a few things today. And, you know, it's nothing like just having an opportunity to share these things in the form of this podcast. So we really appreciate it. And I tell you what, be on the lookout, because for the rest of the year, we're really going to be focused on speaking to our residents. I think they have a voice and it needs to be heard. So hopefully we'll have all our guests show up and we'll be able to talk to some residents who are still in the trenches trying to make it out, some who have had some trials and obstacles, but others who are doing great things right where they are. So we appreciate those for being willing participants to join the podcast. So we want to just highlight our residents and give them opportunity to tell their story. So the first thing that's been a very hot topic with the Housing Authority is the curfew. A lot of people have mixed emotions about it. Most of our residents, though, are singing our praise for the curfew. They feel like their neighborhoods are a lot safer. They feel like people are not hanging out on cars, on porches, playing music at times when they are trying to rest and give their family an opportunity to go to bed. So the curfew is something that's supposed to end this month in September. So we're going to just do an evaluation. We're going to talk to multiple residents, talk to the resident council, see what the voice of the neighborhood is on whether or not we're going to extend. You know, I'm of the mind that I want to listen to the residents, and if the residents are in agreement to extending it, then that's something that we might do. But if they're not, we did say that we were going to run the curfew through September, so that's something that we would have to look at. Just some information about the curfew. The curfew is not intended to try to mandate that you don't have company. We definitely want you to have company, but at a certain time during the week, that's 9 o'clock, we ask that your company actually visit you on the inside of your apartment. And on the weekends at 10, we're trying to eliminate as much as possible people just hanging out who are not supposed to be in the neighborhood. And sometimes our neighborhoods tend to be neighborhoods that people feel like they can just come and do whatever they please. So the curfew has been good. Residents, especially our elderly and our resident council members, have enjoyed the curfew. So again, be on the lookout for more information about the curfew and how we will proceed in the next few weeks. I also wanted to give an update on Mill Creek. Many of you know that we received a $50 million grant on July 19th of 2024 for the redevelopment of our Butler Terrace Johnson Tower community. Well, not last week, a couple of weeks ago, we started doing some work over in that community. They were laying utility work. They started the process of moving some dirt around. So that's exciting, because that's going to give our residents in that area, in the area of Johnson Towers and Butler Terrace, an opportunity to get brand new housing. And it's going to redevelop that community into a community of choice where people actually want to live in that Butler Terrace, Johnson Towers community. The name of that community, of course, is going to be Mill Creek. We're going to give residents an opportunity to advance their education. They're going to get an opportunity to find jobs that work with their schedules. They're going to be able to live in brand new units. Butler Terrace was built in 1954, so that property has definitely served its purpose. Now it's time for us to do something different in that community, time for us to give our residents something new. And hopefully we'll be able to take the momentum of Mill Creek into other areas of the city and provide new housing for other neighborhoods as well. But I'm excited that we are actually starting to move some dirt over in that area. We have some pretty exciting news that we will be able to share with our residents next week. We have a 3D rendering of what the community is going to look like. I've seen it already and it is amazing. I'm sure that the residents will be excited and happy and just kind of amped to be able to see what that looks like for the Mill Creek community. And so we're excited about that. It's been a long time coming. We've actually started this process about 7 years ago. We got the planning grant. Now that we have the implementation grant, we will definitely start moving dirt later this year. We'll continue to move dirt later this year because we actually have started, and I'm excited for what's about to come into that neighborhood. I want to also talk about the waiting list. You know, the public housing waiting list right now is roughly about 700 people. And so if you've been calling the housing authority, you're wondering why you haven't been able to get a unit, that waiting list is long. We have close to 700 people who are on the public housing waiting list. And that's so significant. You might think, well, there are so many apartments going up around Huntsville. Well, most of those apartments that are going up around the city are not affordable, which means, you know, they are top of the line market rate units. They're charging anywhere from 12 to 15 to $1,800 a month for a 1 bedroom. And so a lot of our residents can't afford what's out there. And so we've seen an increase in the amount of people who need affordable housing in this city. So I just ask everybody to be as patient as you can. Your name is on the list. We cannot jump you ahead of anybody. And so I want you to understand that it might take some time and you are on the list. You have to wait your turn. We you know, as people are offered a unit, whether they take it or not, you will then gradually move up the list. Now, I still encourage you, if you need a place to stay, to get on the list, because you never know how things happen. There might be some people who decide they don't want to be in public housing. There might be some openings, but the only way you can get housed is to get on the list. Now, we've also had a lot of calls asking about the Section 8 waiting list. Well, I hate to inform everybody, but we've closed the Section 8 waiting list for a period of time. I just didn't feel right having a ton of people on the waiting list, knowing that they were not going to get units. We haven't had an open Section 8 opportunity in some years now because we just don't have the inventory, and we have close to 2,000 people who already have a voucher. And just because we are a housing authority don't mean that we have unlimited vouchers. Every housing authority gets a certain amount of vouchers that they can have to provide for their residents in their area and in their city. We don't have unlimited amount of vouchers. So just know that the waiting list is closed right now for Section 8. Now, from time to time, we have what we call project-based voucher waiting lists. And those were lists like, for instance, Dry Creek and Monrovia Flats. They had some vouchers that we could provide to them. And if you got on one of those lists, your name was called, then you were able to get housing at Dry Creek Flats and Monrovia Flats. Just to talk about Monrovia Flats and Dry Creek just for a minute, there have been a lot of people who have been calling us talking about some of the issues that you may be having. Now, although we're in partnership with Monrovia and Dry Creeks, we do not manage that property. Those properties do not belong to the housing authority. We do work closely to get issues resolved, to try to help them get issues resolved, but we are not responsible for the day-to-day operations of Monrovia Flats and Dry Creek. And I think that's important for individuals to understand that if you're having a problem and you need to address something with your caseworker, please reach out to them. And if there is a situation where they need to reach out to the owners and the management of those two properties, they will do so, even if that means that we have to do an abatement. And so please reach out to your caseworker. Let them know if you have problems that you feel like can't wait, and we will do an abatement, and we will try to get that resolved as soon as possible. So again, Monrovia Flats, Dry Creek Flats, the Huntsville Housing Authority, we don't own those properties. We have vouchers that we have allocated, which are called project-based vouchers. And just to kind of give you an idea of how those work, if you have a project-based voucher, you can only use that at those two facilities. If you decide that you don't want to be in the program, those vouchers, unfortunately, are not transferable. You can't take them to another development. Those project-based vouchers are only for those units in Dry Creek and Monrovia. And we're working with them to try to resolve some of the issues that they've had with some of the damages. And you know, to be fair, those are new units, and sometimes even with new units, you have issues because nobody's used them before. And so I want to encourage everybody to remain patient and, you know, reach out to the property management. Let them know if you have an issue, if you're experiencing something that you feel like is a danger to your family. Definitely reach out and let them know. Do not hide anything from them. Don't feel as if you have a concern, you'll be, you know, in any kind of trouble with anybody for reporting an issue. What happens oftentimes is people just sit on issues and not let property management know that they have an issue or concern. Please let them know if there's an issue or concern, whether it be major or minimum. Make sure that they know so that you can get the help that you need. That's only fair to them, and it's also fair to you. So if there's an issue, please address it so that, you know, we can get into the business of making sure that you have what you need to have a peaceful enjoyment of the resident that you're renting. Exciting news for Northwood, the Northwoods community and LR Patton community. The Huntsville Housing Authority has partnered with Comprehensive Grants Management to write a grant for the Jobs Plus program. The Jobs Plus grant will give us an opportunity to provide job training, educational advancement for residents who live in Northwoods and the LR Patton community. It will be targeted to those neighborhoods. If you are of working age, if you are in need of, you know, educational boost or whatever, these two neighborhoods will benefit from the Jobs Plus grant. I feel we're in a position that we will be able to get this grant. And if we do, I know that it's going to be a game changer for those communities. With the recent news of everything that's going on in Huntsville with 3,000 jobs coming, you know, we want to position our residents into a space where they can apply for some of these jobs. Right now, you know, we want to make sure that we elevate the opportunity level for our residents so that they can be in a position to apply for some of these things that are coming, because there's always a spinoff when you bring that many jobs. There are going to be some other things that open up. So we want you to be in a better position. So hopefully we'll be able to start this Jobs Plus grant January 1st. We will know by mid-December if we are actually one of the housing authority agencies who will receive this grant. It's a very competitive grant, but I really believe it's a game changer for our community. It's a game changer because it gives us an opportunity to advance educational resources and help us build more marketable residents in those two neighborhoods. And so I want to close with this. You know, we're a housing authority agency who sits in one of the largest growing communities in the country. We know that we have a responsibility to residents that oftentimes other agencies don't necessarily provide resources for. We want to make sure that you all understand that your safety and well-being is our top priority. We can't address all the needs and the concerns, but you have to understand that our goal is to make sure that we do the best job that we can to address 99.9% of the issues that you all have. And we want to make sure we do that with pride and dignity. And so if you have an issue or concern, look out for information that you'll be seeing on social media platforms for our Office of Resident Affairs. We're really trying to use that as a platform for you to make complaints, for you to make compliments, for you to address any concerns that you might have about the work that we're doing. Because at the end of the day, if we're not being transparent about what we're doing, nobody has an opportunity to go anywhere. We're not elevated as a company or an organization. You all are not getting the needs that you have met. So it's not a win-win. We want to create win-wins in the community for our residents so that you all have an opportunity to just live your best life where you currently are. And so please be on the lookout for information concerning the Office of Resident Affairs. We got to get that back up and going. You have to take advantage of that platform because it gives you an opportunity to address your concerns. And, you know, from time to time, you might have an employee who's doing a great job and you just want to recognize them. This would be also a great platform to do so because we do understand that we have some people out there doing some amazing things. And from time to time, you know, everybody wants to get their flowers, you know, send some flowers while people are still alive, letting them know that they're doing a significant job. And be safe out here as we close out the summer. School has already started. You know, make sure those kids are getting up and going to school on time. If our kids going to have an opportunity to be successful later on in life, man, at a minimum, we need our kids graduating from high school. At a minimum, they need to be graduating from high school, finding out whether or not they want to pursue a trade or if they want to go to college. And it's up to us as adults to make sure that they're getting everything that they need to be in a position to compete in the classroom, to get school on time, and to do the things that they need to do to be successful. And so as we almost in the fourth or fifth week of school, do all that you can to make sure that your children are thriving and not just surviving. I'm encouraging the parents to get involved in the PTA. Just do whatever you can to be a voice in your child's school. Don't let anybody intimidate you. Ask questions. Feel free to partner with our resident services team. If you have a problem getting back and forth to the school, use the resources that are right there in the community so that your children can take advantage of everything that's been given to them, and they can go out and become whatever they choose to be. And I'm not just saying that because I read it in a book somewhere. I'm saying it because I know I was one of those kids who grew up in Sparkman Homes or Mason Court right here in the city of Huntsville. And because I was able to follow through on my education, graduate, I was able to play, go to school, and now I'm sitting in this seat. So it can happen to your child just as easily as it happened to me. But it's going to take us making sure that we give them all the resources that they need to be as successful as they need. So I encourage all of our residents and anybody who wants to do work with the Housing Authority to reach out to us, hold us accountable, because that's the only way our community will make it. And that's the only way we'll be able to keep up with the massive growth that's taking place in this city. So until next time, I encourage you all to do what you need to do to be safe. Know that we are here for you. We're here to support you. We're here to make sure that your living experience in the Housing Authority is a great one. And so until next time, take care.
We've come to the end of the podcast today. Please share the link on all your social media platforms. We hope that you all will join us again next time. Until then, keep serving and keep pushing. This has been another amazing episode of Life in the Bricks podcast. Peace.